Hello there, welcome to the second part of the UlnoIoT Raspberry Pi tutorial. So I assume you already have installed UlnoIoT on the Raspberry Pi, either on the Mac, PC or Linux, and you've learned how to access it. So you should have a prompt like this here, and with the green bar down there. And you might have already looked into the help, but to repeat again, so you have to press Control A and then release it and press H, and then you get a couple of commands here what you can do. And the interesting thing is you can actually create another sub window. So if you do Control A and N, so you see you get another window here. So, and if I in the first window start the Midnight Commander, you can see this, that we are here, and then we can flip with the mouse or with Control A right or Control A left. So the Midnight Commander you can use with the mouse or with keys, so you can go up and down or press with the mouse. And here are some commands you can execute, and these commands you can also execute either with the mouse or with correspondent function key or via pressing escape and then the number. So if I go to escape and 1, I get the help of the Midnight Commander, and I can leave it again with pressing the escape key twice. So let's remove this here, because that is what we want to do now first. So first you should actually, for setting up a new UlnoIoT system and configuring some nodes, create a new system template folder, make a copy of the system template folder. And we will actually configure in this tutorial just one node. So I have 2 nodes here, and the next one we will actually do 2. So here, take this one with the green USB cable. So for this, go to the UlnoIoT folder, and there into lib and in system template. Now you'd actually just select system template to make sure the cursor is here on it, and then do a copy and give it a name of your choice. Do something like IoT my system or IoT test system. I do now IoT system, you will know. There we are. Now we have this one here. And in there you see the node templates. So you should rename this one node into node 1. So you can do this with Shift F6 or just with rename move. So there we are. So now it's node 1. And if you do, you can actually on the other side now go also in this. And then we can make with F5 a copy of this node 1 into node 2. So now we have 2 nodes for later for configuring it. And then you go into node 1 and you can actually then trigger the initialization of it. So for this we actually have to do some hardware. So we actually have to plug the little Wemos D1 I have here with the green cable into the USB port of the Raspberry Pi. And if you're not sure if that worked, you can look in a new window if that worked, and the command to see what happens on device level is dmessage. So you can just type this in here and you will see down there, oh, there's a new USB device. It's exactly what you wanted, so that's attached now. So what we want to do now is type initialize, yeah, in the node folder. Make sure you are not in a different folder, because so if you actually create this here, it will complain. So if you want to see what the complaint is, with Control O, you can see what it was. And so now there's no node config. So let's go there, and we can now try initialize again in this folder. And then it actually works. So it first will erase this, and then it takes a little while until the MicroPython firmware is on this little Wemos device. So it's now loading it on there. You will see that the light flashes while it's uploading this, and you have to bring a little bit of patience until this upload is done. So when it reaches down there 100%, it's not yet done. Only when the Midnight Commander comes back to you, we are actually done, because this is just the operating system, and now in addition to the operating system, there is some special software we are uploading to this device. So bear with me while this is finishing. So our goal is actually now, you see already the blue light flashing. We want to actually take control of this and see that we can actually flash this light. So now comes the special software. So we have to do a reset on it, let it automatically connect to the Wi-Fi network, and then put some extra software on there. So this is the software. See all the files which are still copied now. And they should be soon on there. So you usually do this only once to a device, and after that all the changes are incremental. However, if you are not sure that this is your device, you might, or what software is on there, you might want to start over doing such an initialize step. There, we are done. So, and if everything worked, you can actually check with Control O if there's some errors, but that all looks pretty good. So go back with Control O. You can actually check with the console command if you can go to it. So you can either type just console in here, or as a convenience function, I have put this into the user menu, so you can also run the console just from there. You see it's actually connecting via the network. And if we do now just return, you see we have these pointy brackets here, which show the Python prompt. So we can actually do something like 4 + 5, and this is just a normal Python prompt, or we can do print hello. And so that's actually now on the device that we're doing this via the network. But of course, we have a physical device, and the nice thing is now we want to actually make something physically happen here. So if you actually type in the command dir, you will see there's lots of commands. Or if you type in help, you can also see that there's lots of stuff prepared here for you. But let's take another look at dir, and see that there's actually one thing which is called Onboard LED. So I will select this for you. So yeah, now we're actually in copy mode, so be careful when you have this red stuff up here. This is something from this thing. Then you are in copy mode. If you do then Control C, you leave the copy mode again. Or if you do this accidentally, you can also just do Control Q. If you do Control C, then it's actually copying. I should also mention that if something with the connection with the console doesn't work out, there's another command you can try. This is console serial. This will not try to connect via the network, but via the serial connection, via the cable connection with the device. And so this is basically the same. So if I type something in here and I look at the other console, you'll see there's actually the same thing in there. But if the network connection doesn't work, this connection is most likely to work. So you can exit all the consoles as you see with this command. So with Control and the closing square bracket. So, and we will work in the network console instead. So, and as I said, there is an onboard LED. So let's type that. You can actually also complete commands with just typing tab. See? Then if there's only one option, it does this automatically. Or if you just put E on, even that is already enough. So onboard LED. And also here, if we have commands, this is Python, then you can see with pressing the tab key the commands which are actually in there. And see there's an on command, there's an off command, but this doesn't switch the LED yet. So first you have to do an init. Now first let's check what onboard LED is and see it's actually a pin. So you could actually do something like, oh, what does that mean with the pin here? And look it up. And it kind of sends you to MicroPython explanation. So, but we know how that works. So you do an init here, and then you have to say, okay, this is an output port, what we have here. And it already switches now that the blue LED is on. Usually it starts initializing things with off, but the onboard LED is reversed. So if I now say onboard LED on, it will actually go off. So you can see it here, and I press the key, and then the light is actually off. So, and if I hold it here and I turn it off, then the light is actually on. And now we have actually achieved to control the light of this device via the network.